this video, I'm going to show you how to do some basic data analysis using the IADS Post-Test Explorer application. So what we're looking at right here is the PTE client application. We're on the search page, and I've done a search, and I've gotten some results here. I've looked for climb maneuvers where a tail accelerometer exceeds a certain value, and I got a collection of results here on the search page. And now I know these are the results that I want to work with and I want to do some data analysis on. So data analysis takes place on the Calculate page of the PTE client application. So I'm going to click on Calculate, and that's going to take me to the Calculate page where it puts all of the results from this query into a matrix, into a tabular format, where each row of the matrix represents one of the results from this query up here. So I've got 18 results from that query. I have 18 rows in the matrix, and by default, the table is populated with a collection of information about each result, such as the start and stop time, the aircraft it's associated with, maneuver if applicable, flight number, test number, tail number, and date. Now, to actually do some analysis in this matrix, we need to add what are called calculated columns. And you add calculated columns by pressing the Add Column button here. And pressing the Add Column button will bring you to the Expression Builder. And the Expression Builder is a tool that allows you to browse through the various pieces of information that are available to you in your data archive and allows you to add them to the matrix. So, for example, the first tier here represents data. So you can access any of your parameters from any of your aircraft over here on the right. You can access different data groups that you've defined, matrix columns, which are already here. You can feed columns into analysis routines. And then there's functions down here as well. So just to get started, I'm going to start with just some raw data. I'm going to add some raw data to the matrix. I'm going to select parameters, select my aircraft, and I know I have some accelerometers I want to look at, so I'm going to start typing in the parameter names here, and that's going to filter them. And I'm going to pick tail accel 1. And when you pick a parameter, it's going to put it into the equation edit box down here, which defines exactly what your analysis equation is. And I'm going to press OK. And so what that's done now is it has taken the data for tail accel 1 between this start and stop time for this flight, and it's put it into this cell in the matrix and plotted it. So you can have a high-level overview of what it's doing at this time for this flight. And so this is what tail accel 1 is doing between this start and stop time for this flight, and so on and so forth across all of the query results that we got from this query at the top of the page. Now this is just looking at raw parameter data. To do some actual analysis, you would do a very similar process, follow a similar process by adding a column, except instead of going to data, you would go to the functions tier, and functions tier is where all of the analysis functions that are defined in the system are located. So you can browse through these different categories to see what sort of analysis is available to you. So I'm going to click on the built-in functions element here, and the Post-Test Explorer system, it comes with a collection of Python analysis routines that are categorized in the middle here, and you can click through the different categories to see what different types of analysis routines are available for you. So here we have some coordinate transformation functions, and if you hover over the function, you'll get a description of what each function does at the bottom of the screen. Here's some frequency domain functions. We have some time domain functions down here with some filtering. IADS derived, this is where a lot of the general math lives, basic arithmetic, mins, maxes, averages, linear algebra, things like that. Any routine, any function that's available in the derived equation of the IADS real-time system has been ported over here to be used in PTE as well. So just as a simple example, I want to find the average of that accelerometer across all of these query results. So I can search for the average function in here. I found it right here. I'm going to click on it. It's going to add the average function to my my equation text field down here. And now I'm going to go, I need to give it an input. So I'm going to go to Parameters, Demo Aircraft, and I'm going to find my accelerometer. So now I'm calling the average function with an input of tail accel 1. That's the name of my accelerometer that I'm interested in. And then I'm going to press OK. And so now what's happened is that for every row in the table, the system has taken the data for tail accel 1 between the corresponding start and stop time in that row for that flight. It has fed that data to our Python average function. The Python has calculated the average in the background and has returned that value in each cell of the corresponding row in this column here. So this is the average value of this accelerometer across these start and stop times for this flight. This is the average value for this accelerometer across this start and stop time, and so on and so forth throughout the rest of the matrix results. So what you really get when you add a calculated function is you get kind of a batch processing of analysis routines across all of these query results that could be results across multiple flights in your data archive. And you can repeat this process as many times as you want. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a column that calculates minimum value of my accelerometer, and a column that adds the maximum value of my accelerometer. Again, you can add as many calculated columns as you like, but the idea here is that you build this sort of matrix of analysis functions that are allowed to run over all of your query results that you searched for up here using the query search tool. And that's a high-level overview of how you do basic data analysis using Post-Test Explorer.